Black America, don't piss me off, because this is what y'all doing.
Africans had to take over Essence Fest because nobody wants to hear or participate in what they got going on. Trust me, if Essence Fest was pure African, nobody would go. You see how nobody went this year because we found out it was African. If it had been African this whole time, nobody would show up because nobody's interested in what they got going on. They're a whole continent full of uninteresting people and uninteresting culture. They're a continent full of people who have to live in the past. They talk about the times when they were from Egypt. Egypt is only one part of Africa. It's the north part of Africa, and it's one country. I really only got respect for Ethiopia and Egypt. That's it. Everybody else is pretty much hogwash. I mean, what do they got going on themselves? They take pride in something that happened 3,000 years ago. The closest thing that Africa has done is the Moors. Oh my gosh. And that was like from the year 711 to like the 1400s. 600 years ago. In the last 600 years, they have done nothing relative except take over our culture.
Why many Black Americans are upset about the new essence under the new leadership, as well as many airing their opinion on whether this is a diaspora war issue, whether this is an African versus African American battle, diaspora war, or is a white person behind all these battles that we are seeing between Black folks.
We didn't sign up for our money to be used this way. We just didn't sign up for our money to be used this way.
Let's get the discussion going in the comment section down below. I'll be keen to hear what you guys have to say, and let's educate each other.
Africans ruin Essence Fest. You would think you walked around and you just heard Jerusalem, Ikayanami. He no gonna say no. You would think you walked around and everybody was like, baby, come down, come down. That's not what happened. Every corner you turned, you heard wedding bells, which is a traditionally African-American jubilation song. Let me tell you something. When it comes to diaspora wars, I do believe Africans be lying. But even more, African-Americans be lying as well. Because everybody wants to drive their own narrative. So people make up stuff and say whatever they can to sell the point across. Sometimes, most of the time, it ain't true. Not even sometimes. What am I talking about? Like, oh, African-Americans ain't got no culture. Oh, like, oh, Africans trying to take over our spaces. Not the case. If Africans were to be present at your festival, trust me, you will know. There will be the smell of suya in the air. Uncles all around the area. Burna Boy and Davido would have been a headliner. It would have been insane. I was there, and my experience was once again enjoying and celebrating and reveling in all the beauty that is Black American culture. The food, the dances, the music. I never for one second thought, man, Africans finally took us over. Never. A festival that starts to decline, and rather than us talk about the logistics or things that we could do to make things better, technicalities, where did we go wrong? You know, was it sponsorships? Was it the economy? Was it the rollback on DEI programs? None of that. The first thing we could think of, an African bought it. And no offense to Rich, but if you've ever heard Richelieu Dennis talk, he's not even the African that you're thinking about. He's for the most part a lot more American than he is. Like, he's not like, you know, like the way it described it, you made it sound like Patrice Lumumba. Somebody with that kind of name came and took over your business, just came straight from the continent and took over. That's not what happened. And and up until now, for the most part, these are the people that have organized Essence Fest. This is what they look like. I don't think anybody has had any complaints for the most part. I don't think it was divisive when they were in control. I don't think there was any narratives being told. But for some reason, when anything seems to go wrong, we start to point fingers and look at each other and start to blame ourselves. And I hate to say this, and those of you who know, those Africans who know, guess what? Africans do this for their own festivals too. When it comes to Afrochella, when it comes to Afrofuture, now the current name, people will make all this commentary about what Afrofuture is and what it isn't. Rather than celebrating the progress of such a undertaking of such a great venture in the diaspora, rather than complimenting it, the first thing we do is break it down and criticize. A people that are doing more with less. A people that are doing more with less on both sides. And the first thing we can think is this is the time to be over analytical and critical. Listen, I'm all for being over analytical and critical. I love it when it comes to film, when it comes to art, because I think artistic integrity is important. It is important for us to be to have integrity every single time we put our voice out there, we put paint to paper, and every time we sing, we create or convey a message. In this particular case, though, for a festival that's an experience that's bringing people together, that is not the time or the place. I'm just saying. Nobody took over anything. Nobody was planning to take over anything, and nobody was trying to do evil in anything. They were trying their best with the little that they had. Anybody that you know that is in any way in the back end of this operation tried their best. The last minute rollout of the main act could not possibly have been blamed on one woman who happens to be the CEO. Because for some reason, all of this protect black women went out the window as soon as this whole Africans ruined Essence Fest narrative started. And by a lot of people who weren't even there. They said I passed upon it, but I'm gonna say as much as possible to make sure that Essence Fest feels my fury and my anger. Then there were the people that were coming for influencers. And I just said, like, man, everybody is just it's a sad state of affairs. Because if you were there, you know the truth. You know that was farthest. Talking about they had a jollof and jambalaya. Like, what? What? That is the reason? I remember I asked somebody, I had a whole conversation with somebody, and I asked them, what exactly did they take over? They said some people were hosting their own bookshop event or whatever during Essence Fest. And I said, the little bookshop? A little bookshop, whether African American, African, or French, even Scandinavian, a little bookshop is the reason that Essence Fest had issues this year. We're grasping at straws, and it's embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. I got nothing else to say. But it's all lies. Most people, I'm not saying it's all lies. I'm not saying like there isn't an evident, decline in what Essence Fest used to be, evidently. But saying that the reason is because an African invested in it or bought it, and because there's an African woman as a CEO, it's just not true. And this narrative that you guys are trying to sell is dangerous. But get your clicks, get your likes, get your engagements. Do what you got to do. Just know that it's not worth it in the end. It's just not. It's not fulfilling to sell out your people with ideologies that are rooted in bitterness or envy. It's just not. But that's my 2 cents. You can get mad at me if you want. That's just my 2.
I want to share something that I heard a long time ago, and I'm hopeful that you digest it one day. You can't talk and listen at the same time. I'm a local in New Orleans. Half of y'all in these comments have no idea what you're talking about. Probably never been to Essence, do not live in New Orleans, or probably wasn't behind the scenes as a vendor, attendee, or even sober for that matter, to see what was really going on at Essence. So basically that means you talking loud and you ain't even saying nothing. And that's shameful because some of y'all, being that you are Essence likers, you gotta be old. And with age, you would think a little bit of wisdom would come. Or not. Even if you don't have any wisdom, because wisdom just don't come with age, y'all all should have enough common sense to back up in a room and practice something called discernment. Why am I saying that? Because the people who so-called running this Essence, they don't look like me. If you back up in any of those rooms, you will see that. I saw that on day one as a vendor, that they didn't look like me. And I never brought my ace back down there no more. And it's not about not liking another group of people. It was just that I was misled. It was just that I saw some locals suffer. It was just that it was so much, like 50% from small businesses and vendors. And I get it. I get it. When you starting off, that's the thing. You got to hustle. You got to put in the work. You got to get the exposure, so to speak. So I was there as a vendor to sell my book. I was up and coming. I was really, really excited about just the opportunity. You know how when you're really, really excited about your passion and your work and stuff, you just want to be in the room, right? But to be in that room and see the elders, see the other community bookstore elders getting played too? Oh, no. Then it just felt like, well, what the hell am I in the room for? Now today, to hear or see y'all in these comments. No, it's because they put an American culture with African culture. Be quiet. So now it's African culture versus American culture. That's the issue here? That's really the issue? Are you serious? So you're gonna blame it on Black African people. Come on now, don't fall for the okadoke. Don't fall for the okadoke, boo. Do what you want to hang on the corner. I don't care about essence. But back your ass up. Back up. In the room. Every room you go to. Every party you ever go to. Back your ass up first. Assess the room. And then you sit down and have a drink. Listen, this ain't my regular content. I really don't give a damn about no essence. I ain't going back down there. So you can say what you want to say in the comments. I just thought I'd share something as a local to help you with a better perspective. And to be even further honest, I don't really care for this type of craziness on my page. So I'm not trying to get no views from this. These are just coming from my heart. It really does something to me when I see this comment about African culture versus American culture when they both look the same. Don't get caught up in the okadoke. Follow the money. Follow the money. That's who you need to be talking about. Don't divide yourself one from another. You follow that money. When you follow that money, then it's all gonna make sense. A bell should have started going off when you was having the same entertainer over and over and over and over again. Pay attention to that. That should have been ding dong. Why would somebody who looked like you get the same entertainer? People that look like me gonna always flip it up. But people with lighter hue, you ask them if they know any rappers, they gonna tell you the same rapper. Yeah, I know Drake. I know Lil Wayne. Yeah. They're gonna keep saying those too because they're not a part of your culture. They're just trying to put on that face of essence. They're not you. They're not like you. That should have been a knock on the door right there. They will pull Maze out. Because maybe, yeah, I know Maze. Good fella. Maybe that was all they knew. Do what you want with it. Okay, bye.
Black America, don't piss me off. Because this is what y'all doing. Y'all pissing me off and y'all embarrassing yourselves. And y'all do not fight in front of company. Okay, so let me just tell y'all what I'm talking about. I'm so sick of this whole black on black war that y'all going on due to this Essence Fest mess. Okay, it's embarrassing and y'all need to stop. This is 2025. We are over here resting. We are trying to mind our business, drink our water, make our money, and be one together. But y'all want to sit up here. The blacks and the Africans want to be fighting and arguing over stuff. And at this point, I'm not even sure if it's the Africans. I feel like it's just the black folks. So we're going to talk about this today. So there's this one content creator. Her name is Tabitha on here. So I was watching one of her videos a few minutes ago, and she was talking about with the Essence Fest, like the leaders or the, the head people in charge, the CEO, she's a Kenyan, another guy that's really influential, he's Nigerian. And basically she's just making this video like the Nigerians or the Africans are trying to basically like steal the money, take over Essence, take over the magazine, steal our culture, things of that nature. She was talking about how at the Essence Festival, they had this whole thing with jollof rice versus jambalaya. They had a lot of like Caribbean and African themes and stuff like that. And basically just trying to make it seem or get the point across or get her point across that they were trying to diminish the African American culture and scene at the Essence Fest this year. And there were so many people in the comments The comments is what really got me, talking about, African people are trying to colonize the blacks, and African people don't like black people, and we need to boycott Essence, so no one's going to Essence anymore. Essence is partnered with Target, and we're boycotting. And it was just a field of hatred is really what I would call it. And it really, really irritated me for this. Well, I have a few topics I want to touch. First off, we're going to talk about the whole thing with Target and Essence. So Target was one of the sponsors for Essence Fest this year. But the thing about it is that people have to understand that these sponsorships that Essence has with Target, a lot of these sponsorships are contracts that they have together, and they have to fulfill these contracts. And it can be year contracts, like years, like a 5-year contract, a 10-year contract. And so it doesn't just mean that Target just went over there yesterday and was like, hey, Essence Festival, let me give you some money. No, they had this contract prior to that whole DEI stuff. So people are arguing and talking about they're going to boycott Essence and stuff like that because of Target, but they already had that. Essence had nothing to do with Target rolling back DEI and stuff like that. So they shouldn't be targeted for that. And then when you're sitting up saying that you're going to boycott a black festival that brings in so many people, that brings black people together, that brings a lot of people into the city, it brings in money into New Orleans, which is a majority black city, then what's going to happen when people stop coming? They lose money, people stop going, and then we're going to be fussing and arguing, talking about there's nothing for black people for us to celebrate and we don't have nothing. We can't have nothing because you're trying to tear it up. You're trying to boycott it. You're talking about you don't want to go to it. Then we have these people talking about, okay, the whole Essence Fest, they had this Caribbean vibe, this African vibe. They had no New Orleans vendors and all this and that. That's a lie. They had New Orleans vendors. They had a lot of black New Orleans people represented. They had a lot of black content creators out there. They had a lot of black performers out there. It was highly black. It was highly African American. So I don't understand. You're fussing about they had a whole jollof rice versus jambalaya, and people took offense to that. But anybody get on social media, you see all black people eating jollof rice. You see all black people eating fufu and soup and egusi soup. So what's the problem? What is the problem of us marrying our cultures together? People in those comments talking about, because the Africans are trying to take our culture. What culture are they trying to take? Do you not understand that our black culture derived from African culture? We are African. What's the problem? And see, this is the reason why a lot of times we can't excel as a people, is because we're so busy fighting each other, but we are not truly pointing the fingers at who's responsible for all this. Why are we divided? Why is the diaspora divided? Why are we even over here and not over there where we came from? And in this time where so much stuff is going on in the government, so much stuff is happening, so many people are losing health care and insurance and just money and benefits and things like that. So many integral things are being torn down, money being taken away from people. And why are we fighting each other? Can we stop and pause and think and see, what are we doing here? Why are we all on the internet tearing each other down, talking about some African booty scratchers, and they're trying to colonize us, and we gotta stay away from them and have our own. So we're separate. Basically, we need to separate ourselves from each other, fight each other, but then also be the victims of what's going on around us in this political atmosphere. That makes a lot of sense. And then, people in the comments talking about, because we're being accused of being xenophobic because we have questions, we have concerns. But what is it? If it's not xenophobia, then what is it? What is such the big deal of listening to some African music or eating some African food that's similar to what y'all eat? Jambalaya came from jollof rice. Okra gumbo came from okra soup out of West Africa. Bounce music came from African music, the masquerades. Look it up. Like, y'all really like P-popping, twerking, that came from African dances. We're all one. We're all one. That's what we have to understand. It don't matter if you African, if you Jamaican, if you Dominican. We're all one. We all have a common ancestor. We all have so many similarities. What's the problem? And they wonder why people can't elevate. Certain people can't elevate. Certain people can't get out of stuff. And then when we don't have nothing, then it's a problem. Then it's the man. No, it's you. It's y'all. Y'all need to get it together. But I'm about to go on ahead and read me a book and lay down. Y'all tell me what y'all think in these comments.
So all up and down my timeline, I've been trying to recurate my timeline, but it's like Essence Fest and the bullshit that happened at Essence Fest is drowning my timeline. So I went on a little research binge, and honestly, every video I watched, I was getting irritated because I was just like, is we really doing this shit again? Like, are we really doing this shit again? Every 6 to 10 months, Diaspora was Africans versus Black Americans, African Americans versus Africans, Kenyans versus this person, and Nigerians versus this person, the Caribbean versus these people, Africans, Native Africans versus Native Americans, and all. Are y'all not tired? Are y'all not tired? No, really, are y'all not tired? Do y'all know that these folks is laughing at us? They is cracking up at us. They like, these folks gotta be the stupidest people in the world. That's how I feel. They be thinking in their head about us. Because every 6 to 10 months without fail, it's something. Are you all not tired? Like, genuinely, are you all not tired? And I understand both sides. Trust me, I understand it. I understand the Black American perspective as far as it seems like Africans or first generation Africans come into the country and then infiltrate. That's what I've been seeing the word infiltrate. So I'm going to use y'all word. Infiltrate the spaces that are supposed to be for Black Americans. I understand. But my thing is, if you gave somebody an invitation to your house and they came to your house, how you mad that they came to your house? I just want to know. It's the same thing. It's the same thing in reverse. Because I've seen Africans say things like, why the Black Americans come in the Dirty December and Afrochella and Afrofest and Afro Nation? Y'all don't got your own things. Once again, if you told somebody you could come to my house and they came to your house, how you mad that they came to your house? You invited them. You told them to come. You told them to come. You did. They didn't just come willy-nilly. You invited them. Now you mad that they came. You can't be mad at nobody but yourself. At the end of the day, Black Americans can't be mad at nobody but Black Americans because they invited Africans to the situation. Africans can't be mad at nobody but Africans because they invited people to the situation. You can't be mad at nobody but yourself. If you don't want somebody in your space, don't invite them. But see, this is the issue, and this is why the diaspora war starts up, because it has gotten to a place where, number one, you can't tell nobody they can't come no more. You can't. Black Americans can't tell Africans that they can't come to their spaces no more because it's already been mixed up. It's already mixed up. And Africans can't tell Black Americans they can't come into their spaces anymore because it's already mixed up. That's like telling a Black American, you can't listen to Afro beats. You can't be on a song with Davido. It's already happened. So how you gonna get mad now? And vice versa. It's like you telling the African, you can't come to Essence Fest. You can't be at a booth. It's already happened. So what y'all gonna do now? I just wish that y'all would just let this shit fucking go. Like, this shit is dumb. It's stupid, bruh. And again, like I said, I understand why people are upset. Jambalaya versus Jollof. And there's not enough Black American influences and not enough Black American culture and Essence Fest, and that's what it was started on. I understand. Trust me, I get it. I am hearing y'all. If my name wasn't Amarachi, y'all wouldn't know I was Nigerian. How do I know? Because I've had about 1,700 people comment under my shit and say, oh, you don't look African and you don't talk Africans. I didn't know you was African until you said you was African. Now, does that erase anything? No, because I'm a proud Nigerian American. I'm proud, first generation. Both my parents was born in Nigeria. They was both raised here. I am a proud African. I'm a proud DMV girl. I'm a proud PG County girl. You know what I'm saying? And I I wear my culture on my heart just like I expect everybody to wear their culture on their heart. I'm not one of them people that's like, oh, Black Americans don't have culture. You're a dumbass if you say some stupid shit like that. What? Like, bro, like, and anybody who says that, you obviously are not educated, bruh. And once again, my minor in college was African American history. So I already know the struggle. I know the history. So once again, you don't got to come to my page somebody, you don't understand. Trust me. I understand. I overstand, actually. Because I know Nigerian history and African American and Black American history. I overstand. You feel me? But I'm just tired. I'm just tired because in actuality, I feel like people are using the things that were happening to hide what really was the problem, which is the organization itself is shit. It's not just the people running it, it's the entity. Because in actuality, I've been hearing about Essence Fest going down since 2018. We are in 2025. It has gotten progressively worse. It's just now that people are like, now that it has seemed like it is, like I said, the infiltration where it's fully infiltrated by Africans. Now people want to say, oh, let's tear down the whole continent. Let's do diaspora again. It's been a problem from jump. I've been seeing all these artists talk about how they experience was terrible. It wasn't because of Africans. It was because the organization was not there. The sound system was terrible. Lighting was terrible. It was dysfunctional. The mics wasn't what they got to do with Africans? Because last time I checked, the person who was in charge of the event was a Black American man. And he has come out and said, yeah, it was my fault. It was my fault. So what are we even... Instead, we should all be banding together and trying to figure out how to make sure that Carmelo Anthony doesn't spend the rest of his life in prison for defending himself. Can we do that? Can we all band together and figure out how to get BET back and make sure that BET and the BET Awards looks like what it did this year? Can we do that? Please. Because I'm tired. I'm tired of the way y'all talking. Tired of the back and forth. Tired. I am tired. And I know a lot of people are tired, y'all. At the end of the day is going to end. And when you add 2 and 2, you can make 10 by adding 6. So how about we get together and figure out a different problem to solve versus always fighting and arguing? Because
so someone left a comment asking me to talk about the whole Africancation of Essence Fest because I was there covering press. First of all, y'all knew you wanted to be messy because y'all know I'm African. I'm first gen. I've attended Essence the last 2 years. First time as an attendee, second time as a person working press and media, as well as influencer. I was creating content for myself and also going to events offsite. As someone who was there all 3 days, this whole Africancation of Essence Fest discussion is ridiculous because if you were there and you actually saw the programming, majority of it was African American or Black American focused. If you go to any of the activation stations, whether it's Essence offers Beauty Con with Black owned businesses, Black founded businesses by African American women, Global Economic Forum and the members of the panel, the health and wellness activation, and the many doctors, therapists, specialists that were speaking regarding Black female health, the Essence Suede section and the Black American men that were speaking. And that's only naming a section of the programming that was there. We've seen people talk about the concert lineup. The only non-Black Americans that were on that lineup, to my knowledge, is Davido and Buju Banton. Davido, Nigerian. Buju Banton, Jamaican. Like, y'all run with stuff and you weren't even there. I talked more about this with Tati on the podcast this week. The episode's out now. Y'all can listen to it on Spotify, but y'all don't be believing stuff if you weren't there.
Just the overall sentiment about the direction of Essence, or this new Essence, because it does not belong to Black America anymore. But this new Essence, I think the overall reason why many Black Americans are upset is because we did not sign up we didn't sign up for our money to be used this way. we just didn't sign up for our money to be used this way. Because in order for the new essence to succeed, it needs Black American dollars, right? And according to MSN, or the write-up in MSN as to how the new direction of Essence is supposed to be going under this new leadership, it basically says that they want to provide a global foundation, a foundation for the global Black diaspora. That's exactly what it said. So that's the direction of it, meaning that Black America will have to pay for it. Black America, let me explain to people who don't understand. Black America is 50 million people. Okay? And then we're taking that money, because 50 million people don't attend Essence, but a large percentage of Black America attends Essence. It's the largest festival in America, one of the, if not the, okay? And so you're telling Black America now, Essence Ventures is going to create a foundation for the global Black population. Black America did not sign up to do anything like that. Black America has always been charitable and stuff like that. And we actually have businesses across the globe. And not only that, Black America does not go in and purchase other people's stuff and then tell them what the flip they're going to do with that people's money. Follow me? Like, we don't go to other countries, purchase their cultural iconic things, and then within their country tell them that we're going to take your money now and go and build up other people. And I think the way that it's written in MSN, that strikes a nerve. Because what do you mean you're going to take our money and build up the global Black community? Billions of people. What do you mean by that? It's I mean, the owner himself can't do that. And he's a billionaire. Or, I guess. And I mean, I don't even know how many businesses he actually has in Liberia. Actual businesses he has in his home country of Liberia. Does he have any businesses in Liberia? Has he set up businesses so to help the people and to gain employment and do that in Liberia? I don't know, but now it seems like they're asking Black America, not even asking, they're demanding Black America come to Essence Festival, spend our money, which is like, and they made like over $300 million the other time, and then say, okay, thank you. Now we're going to go use that to build the global Black community. And what? So I think, no. I think that's where the no is. It's not because an African person owns it. It's not because a white person owned it before. It's it's definitely not because we own it, because we owned it the whole time except for recently, right? So because it's founded by Black America. But you want to use the platform that we built because we're Black America. And this is where the money is, right? So now, just like in the United, this is Black America. Now here's Black America. Here's us. Number one, we're fighting for reparations. Okay. Number two, we had to fight to even get any kind of pay equity here, which that's not happening. We had to fight for everything that we have. We had to start from scratch. I mean, dirt. And I'm not playing. Like, a lot of immigrants come over here. They say, I had $10 and some luggage and I made it big. No, Black America had to start with dirt. Dirt and death. Okay? So when you can look at it from that standpoint, we had to start from dirt and death. And then we're still charitable to people, right? And it seems as if whenever we get here, right, someone wants to come and grab something from us, right? So you have to look at it from that cultural and historical perspective. Now, when Black America goes and for the overall general, because I don't know every single business, but most of the time when Black Americans go into other communities in other countries, Black Americans do not extract. We try and build the business there and help the local community and build up. Okay, we don't say, I'm going to take all your money, I'm going to put it on over here, such. We try and put it right back into the community that's giving us the money, right? Right back there, because that's fair. That's fair. Even when white people took over majority stake, because there was Black people that still own, there's something called majority stake and minority stake in a company, okay? But when white people took over with their 51% majority stake in the company, prior to the man from Liberia, they didn't say, well, now we're going to take Black American money and go and build up, I don't know, some other, because that it just won't fly right. That doesn't fly right in our ears because we started from dirt. I don't care where everybody else started from. We started from dirt. And not only did we start from dirt, we started from dirt because of the transatlantic slave trade. You see, everything got taken from us. Everything. And so now you're saying we're going to take it back again from you. And I don't think Black America is going to spend their dollars at Essence as much as they ever did before. They're not going to do it because you're telling us, you already told us what you're going to do. Based off what MSN wrote, you told us what you're going to do. You're going to give our money somewhere else. No.
So you guys let Africans buy Essence Festival, get up on stage, say that the original people are here, and you were silent. So what you need to understand is that Black Americans, those who are native, now there are some that originated in Africa, okay? But those who are native are not African. They are native to America. Do your history, do your research, okay? Native American. My grandmother, full Native American. I need you guys to understand this. Full Carib, okay? Full Carib, which was Native Americans as well. But we will get there. You guys need to understand that Africans and African Americans do not have the same blood. They don't have the same mentality. There is a survival mode that is switched on in every African's mind. And they will love you as much as they need you to survive. You understand. When you understand and you know your history and you learn your history, you can never be bamboozled again. That's all I say. And you know what to do, then you won't even come here to argue with me. You will literally do your research and understand that what I am saying to you is what has been hidden for so long. You can fight the power, do everything that you want to do in America as somebody who is not native to America, and still not understand that the original people are Native Americans. We could go even deeper, but I'm gonna stop there. The original. Okay. Well. Okay. All right. Okay, wait. Soul music originated in America. Hip hop originated in America. Everything. I live in multiple countries. Every country, Americans are the standard. American culture is the standard. So why do you think that is? If Africans were the original, wouldn't everything originate in Africa? Wouldn't it? Okay. Okay.
Y'all, excuse the way I look, but scratch his head in complete confusion. This Essence Fest situation hitting my timeline is so freaking bizarre to me. For one, the little Target thing. Yeah, somebody did that intentionally. Please don't play with me. Don't play with the black community at all. And then y'all talking about like African people got some type of hate in their heart towards African Americans. Like, let me not make it Africans against African Americans. Let's sit that down for a second. Any other race, white, Chinese, whatever, any other race has an issue with African Americans, but yet y'all want to be just like us when it comes to fashion, culture. What don't y'all get? It's like a love-hate relationship. Like, you trying to be best friends with the enemy type thing. Like, you want to steal the ideas, steal the culture, steal all the things, yet you hate on people. That's for Africans, bro. We don't go to Africa trying to jock y'all in any way, shape, or form. We don't try to steal nothing from y'all. We don't go to benefit in Africa, but yet y'all are hustling and saving and trying to get y'all family to America. Like, do y'all not get that? It's like y'all want to be us. Y'all want to be us. And since y'all can't, y'all hate us for it. We are so sorry that particular slaves were brought to America. And the way that we developed as African Americans, it made us the shit. We are so sorry for that. Actually, no, we're not. And so when people see African Americans killing shit, the music industry, fashion, culture, whatever the case may be, y'all want a bite of it. White people, Chinese people, Indians, whatever the case may be, y'all want to dress like us. Y'all want to talk like us. I promise, the girls from the UK, the dudes from the UK, y'all can't put us aside. Like, if y'all can develop it in y'all's head to be like, okay, so if it was us, African Americans, if we didn't like, let's say, for example, the Chinese people, we're not finna go over there and learn their language. What do we need to learn that for? I plan on never going over there. Should be the thing. What am I even looking at their news for? What am I even paying attention to what's going on over there for? I don't like them, right? That's what y'all need to embrace. If you do not like America or Americans, and you complain, like there's so many Africans on social media that complain about America, what are you trying to come over here for? Why is your aunt, your uncle, your whoever? Because it's opportunity over here. Because y'all know y'all can get to the back over here. Stop coming over here if you don't like it. It's simple and plain. I promise it's so simple to stop coming over here. Period. If you don't like African Americans, stop coming to America. Just like if I didn't like China, which I like China, I would never go over there. I'm flying all around to everywhere else but there. If I do not like them, if I do not like their culture, if I do not like their rights, if I do not like the way that they move or the way that they dress or the way that they do their hair, I'm not going. I'm not going to try to force myself into China, even though I don't like them, and be like, oh, I'm finna become the CEO and I'm finna change all this and I'm finna change all of China. That be y'all's intentions. For what? I'm not finna associate with that if that's not what I like. It's so bizarre to me that everybody is against African Americans. Y'all hate us. It's basically jealousy. Y'all hate us and love us at the same time. I promise we're not Americans and stuff like that. African Americans are not dressing like y'all. We're not acting like y'all. We're not doing that. We're our own self to the core, and that ruffles feathers and it's weird. Can y'all please stop? And to my black African Americans, if y'all happen to see this, can we create, like, can some amazing people get together and create our own other festival and keep it black American? Can we do that? Let's show Essence Festival what it's like to boycott for real. I love the fact that Black Americans stuck together and did that to Target. Now we see what we can do. So now let's go ahead. It may take a couple years to get it off the ground, but let's create our own other Essence Festival. Call it something else. Start it from the ground up. Spread the word. Get people out. Make it super fun. Y'all know how we rock. We enjoy each other's time. We are the shit to the absolute core. I love being a Black American. Period. All the stuff that we've been through and stuff like that, I love being a Black American. Let's go ahead and take our monies and our talents and all those things elsewhere. Somebody organize something else, put it out there, and go from there. This is the new period. Let's do that, because I'm tired of everybody, bro, hating on Black Americans and then trying to be just like us. That's moving funny. That's moving funny. That's not funny to y'all? The baggy pants, the streetwear, oh my God. And it's bad in New York. Yeah. So that's all I got to say. Black Americans, let's go ahead and move our talents and our gifts elsewhere. Let's continue to boycott Target. And Africans, y'all really need to check yourself and y'all's heart, because who's coming to who? Who's visiting whose country? Who's trying to create more opportunities? And oh, okay.
Well, you know, Stephanie Mills has no reason to lie, okay? Because Essence just took responsibility for even Lauryn Hill's late performance, okay? Let me read it to you. It's in the Los Angeles Times. Essence Festival has taken responsibility for a delayed Lauryn Hill performance at the recent Essence Festival, where she ultimately took the stage around 2:30 a.m. The festival organizers state that Lauryn Hill arrived on schedule and delivered a great performance, shifting the blame for the late start to production issues, just like Stephanie Mills said, and schedule mismanagement, according to the Los Angeles Times. Like I said in my other video, if you're going to take over, if you decide to purchase, like I know he had this big thing about, you know, I want to bring more of the diaspora into, and I want to expand Essence Festival beyond Black America. I want to do this whole thing and everything. But, you can't take on a project like this if you don't know how to run it. Okay? Like I said before, they need Hakeem Holmes back, the New Orleans native that left. A lot of people left, okay? A lot of people left based on the quote unquote alleged toxic atmosphere that Mr. Dennis, who was from Liberia, and the former owner of Shea Moisture, he was the founder of Shea Moisture, okay? But he sold it off, okay? That may end up happening with this. But yeah, so he decided to go on in there. And then he stepped down after the allegations, and then put Wanga in there from Kenya and directly from Target. Okay. So I don't believe either one had any experience with this type of function. Okay, but they wanted to be the top of it, right? Now let me explain the breakdown of it. So Dennis is the majority stakeholder, okay? Then Wanga, then there are some Black Americans that also own stake in the company, but Dennis owns the most, okay? I'm not sure they know what they're doing. These new CEOs. Someone was in an argument with me in the comments about, well, if they have other people working, I'm sure it wasn't the CEO. I'm sure it wasn't Wanga who's responsible for the festival. Yes, Wanga was responsible for the festival. Yes, she was. She was over the festival. She was working with someone else. Also, but as anyone knows, they have to approve these things going on, and you can't do what the CEO doesn't want you to do. So if she's over the festival, you can't do something that she doesn't want you to do. And she's going to have her input, because that's what she was hired to do. Okay, she was put in that position by Dennis. Okay, I think the better idea. I think because they're going more of in this new way, it's not actually the Essence we know. They're using Essence. They're using the Essence name and fame so that they won't have to rebuild. I'm just going to say it flat out. They're using the Essence name and fame so that they won't have to rebuild. They want to do something called Essence Ventures. He even named the company he founded Essence Ventures so that it would flow with Essence. So basically, he's trying to do something with Essence that's not Essence. Okay? He wants to take it global. He wants to do some kind of bring more of the diaspora in, because he himself is from Liberia, and Wanga is from Kenya. So what looks like is happening is they want to take the name and the fame and the audience of Essence to save them money. Okay? And they want to rebrand it and reinvent Essence. That's what she actually said. Okay, they want to do something new. They want to do something new with Essence, something that was founded by Black America. Well, a lot of stuff is going to flop because you can't just come in and just redo something in the founding people, which were, from what I read, they were trying to tell them. They were trying to tell them, because it's not like they didn't have the diaspora working inside Essence, okay, including white people working inside Essence before, okay, from the very beginning. They were employees. But the thing about it is, and I keep saying this, those who were working inside of this Black American founded company, they knew the assignment. They didn't come in there with their own agendas. They knew the assignment, and they knew the history, and they knew the importance of it. And without the Black American dollar, who gonna bring in that money for the Essence Festival without the Black American dollar? Talking about doing something global. That's millions. That's in the hundreds of millions of dollars. You talking about bringing in? If it's not Black America, who gonna do it? Nobody. Because it's a Black American event. So when you say you're going to take something and have this explosive little idea talking about we're going to make it a diaspora thing. Okay, well, you're flopping right now because you're taking Black America out of it. The person who you should have tried to keep was Hakeem Holmes and made him the CEO, because he's Black American. Okay, he's a Louisiana native, and he was responsible for the success of the festival for many years. He was responsible. He's right there in New Orleans, so he knew everybody. He knew stuff that Wanga don't know. Okay, Wanga just showed up, but she was working with him, and so you give Wanga the CEO position and not Hakeem Holmes. Now, he could have turned it down or something. I don't know. He might not have been offered it, but he could have turned it down. I don't know what could have happened. I'm assuming. But I would just think that if I want something to pop off like it's been popping off, I'm going to use the people that was already there to make it pop off. I'm not going to just come in there and put some folk in because they are from another culture or whatever. The glass cliff higher, like I said, glass cliff higher. And yeah, so the toxic work environment brought on when he and Time had it. Okay, it's almost like they were setting it up to fail. And so with Wanga coming in as a glass cliff higher, they knew it was gonna fail. I'm just saying, because there's some things that, if you want something to not fail, you just automatically gonna do. Where is Black America? I need some Black America execs. I need some people from Louisiana heading this thing up, because they know the ins and outs. They know the food. They know the culture of Louisiana. We need a bunch of people. We need a lot of people from Louisiana that can be at the festival, because they don't have to worry about that long travel distance. They don't have to worry about it. We got to make sure a lot of this stuff is the New Orleans, okay, Louisiana. Okay, next we gonna have some people come through from other places, but the majority of it's gonna be from Black America. The majority of it, okay? Because they already here. They already know what time it is. They know. And then you want to make sure you keep the guy, or you know the people who made that sound right for the performers. Who you want to just keep the people that's been there. All this revamping is not gonna work. It's just not gonna work. You're gonna fail it. This is gonna drop. It's gonna fail. Simple as that.